Welcome to the chapter Reading and Analysis of Maps.
This slide presents the overview of the chapter. Learning objectives. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to
explain the history of evolution of maps down the ages. Describe how maps were made at the time of colonization. Analyze the thematic maps in detail. Know the different conventional symbols used on maps. Determine how the heights of lands are represented on a map. Define the contour lines.
Introduction. Before entering into the chapter, follow the instructions shown on the screen. Click each tab to know more.
We know in the earlier classes we learned about maps. There are different types of maps like physical maps, political maps, and maps which show heights, etc. Do you know how the different types of maps are designed? The differences between a map and a photograph of the same place. Let us know. A map will not show the real features of a place. A geographer uses a map to show the important features of a place like distribution of rainfall, types of soil, population, crops cultivated, etc. Photos may not give us the details of the amount of rainfall, climatic conditions, the languages spoken by people in a particular place. Hence, all these can be shown in a map. That is why geographers make maps depending on the purpose. Thus, let us know more about reading and analysis of maps. Let us start our learning with the definition of map. Map is a visual representation of an entire area which illustrates specific and detailed features of a particular area, most frequently used to illustrate geography. Geographers use the maps to show features that are considered important like trees, population, soil types, crops grown, markets, schools, etc., which cannot be shown by a photograph. Now, let us look at the evolution of maps. Maps by Sumerians. Maps by Babylonians. Maps by Hecataeus. Ptolemy World Map. Al-Idrisi World Map. World Map according to Chinese. World Map according to the Bible. Click each tab to know more. Maps by Sumerians. Sumerians are the ones who brought the first human civilization to the world's history. Some of the earliest maps made by Sumerians about 4,000 years ago were imprinted on clay tablets. Their main intention in using maps was to store the records of the income obtained from the lands. Maps by Babylonians. Babylonian present-day Iraq people made some of the earliest world maps. Around 2,600 years ago, the Babylonian people assumed the shape of the world to be a round disk and thus created maps as a round disk with the inner circle of map showing all the cities, mountains, villages, rivers, ocean of their places. The city of Babylon was shown in the middle. Beyond the inner circle was Bitter River or saltwater ocean in which were 7 triangular islands. Maps by Hecataeus. Around the same time, Greek geographers named Anaximander, Hecataeus of Miletus, now in Turkey, and Herodotus also prepared world maps by arranging places from east to west and north to south. Their ideas were similar to the Babylonians, who believed that the earth was a round disk surrounded by ocean river. They traveled widely and noted down the details of the land, people, and their histories, etc. Based on the details, they prepared maps and placed Greece in the middle of the map. They even divided the world into 3 main continents. They are Europe, Libya, and Asia. The Greeks and the Romans were very much interested in making maps since they wanted to conquer the whole world and also wanted to carry out trade relationships with other places. For example, Alexander, who was a Greek king, wanted to conquer the whole world, came to India about 2,300 years ago. These maps were very useful to him. The Greeks tried to make maps more accurately through the use of latitudes and longitudes. The process of preparing latitude and longitude lines took almost 2,000 years to draw the